it, where I did and how I did and going through those things. And, one of the scariest moments of my life was, that morning that I got the book deal. I hadn't signed anything yet. So I thought when I was in jail they were going to pull it. I thought they were going to, decide that we didn't want to be with this type of person. And when they didn't, and when they, it was like, okay, I need to take this more seriously. And, for her sake and for my own, I need to confront that very thing, that fear of success that I know that we shared is something that, I allowed myself to, I'm going to put myself out there for the first time, and, we'll see what happens.
Mike?
Kevin, every time, no matter who you are, whether you open the door to the internals of a family dispute, or whatever, it can go any way at all.
Sure.
What was the reaction from your mother and your father about what you wrote? And even though it's a novel, what was their reaction?
My mother, for a long time, was afraid to read the book, I think, thinking that it was maybe going to hit too close to home, being based on her mother and some of the struggles that she went through. But I think, when I was almost done, I sent it to her and I said, listen, I want to see what you think, before I send it out and before I try to make it real. And she read it, and she called me crying, and she said that she wished that her mother was alive to read it. That it was something that she thought would only make her proud, that even though she had these struggles, there was an empathy that I shared for her, that I tried to understand her, I think, in a way that a lot of people hadn't before. And I think that meant a lot to my mother. My father read it, and, because it's based on my mother's life, I think he had a different reaction, but he's proud of me, and I think he likes the book, and, I'm happy about that.
That's a good reaction from your mom.
Right.
That could have been worse.
It could have been worse, I don't know what I'm afraid, because I know that throughout the book, the character does make a lot of mistakes. It does, does hurtful things, but I think, it was clear that I loved her and that I wanted to make her, I wanted it to honor her in some capacity.
That's wonderful. The book is Our Town. Kevin McEnroe, thank you so much. I wrote a book about my mom, and I showed her the galleys, and she scrawled all over it, all lies. So I'm jealous. You got a better reaction.
All over it. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, great to have you on the show.
Thank you guys for having me.